Hello everyone, Conductor123 here, and I'm back in the game world, and I want to show you some of the progress I've made so far. The very first thing that I've done is I've made a weapon selector system for the player. It works by using cards, and you'll put a card into this machine, and then it'll give you your weapon. And so here I have my card for a wooden sword. That one will be free. You press this button on the dropper, you wait for that top light to turn on, and then you can press the get weapon button. And there it is. And then let's say that you're, oh, it's enchanted, but it's just with unbreaking. I want it to be like a regular wooden sword. Let's say you die and you lose the wooden sword. Well, I don't want you to go weaponless, so as long as you have put in your card, you can keep getting that weapon as long as you need it. And then once the game is over, this black circuit is for ending the game. Once the game's over, you'll get your card back. There's your card. And then you can also put in other items too. So I have a stone sword. Well, actually, I don't. I'm just going to show the bow and arrow is the most complicated one, so I'm going to put that in the dropper. Okay, there. And you get an infinity bow with an arrow. And I've put some other enchantments on it because I really only wanted to have one bow in the game. I don't know, maybe there might be more, but this is what the bow's like for now. And then, of course, once the game ends, you'll be able to get your card for your bow and arrow back. There it is. I just want to show you, go through a simple explanation of how this works. So first of all, this dropper goes into a sorting system down here. You can see the comparators. You can see there's a wooden sword, there's a stone sword, iron sword, and so on. The item sorter goes into a selector panel, and then depending on which item you choose, one of these torches will be on. When you press the get weapon button, a sticky piston will extend, and then the redstone torch will power a dropper. So that's how that works for the most part. You've got all the items here, all the wooden swords, stone swords, iron swords. And then once this chest becomes empty, a shulker box unloader will power and empty its shulker, a shulker full of more swords or whatever it is that is needed into the chest. There's one other simple update I made, so I realized that I can replace the chests that were here with shulker boxes. That way players couldn't reach inside the chests and get to the resin bricks. Now they have to now they have to interact with the shulker box. And then I did that over here for this contraption too. I replaced the chest with a red shulker box so that you can't get in the item hopper. There is another update regarding this, and it has to do with being survival friendly. So first of all, I said I wanted to make this game survival friendly, and I said that in the last video too, but even in the last video, I used zombie spawn eggs, which are not survival friendly. But I think I'm going to have to go even less survival friendly and use command blocks to place monsters in the level, because this is really inconsistent. Sometimes zombies aren't able to take gear, and in this case, with the zombie heads, that means that sometimes a zombie might burn in the sunlight. But it also means, because it's inconsistent, you might have different numbers of zombies between levels or monsters between levels. So I think I'm going to have to just use command blocks instead that do the same thing. So this way, it can always spawn with a zombie head on, and it'll always spawn in the same spot, and I'll never have any issues with it. I can keep drops consistent too, so I can make it so that it only drops a zombie head instead of the rotten flesh or potatoes or carrots or iron ingots. And I also control what weapons they spawn with, so in this case, the zombie will spawn without any weapons at all. That was everything I wanted to show you for now, and I'm going to go on to making the levels. I'm going to make, I think, the first full level of the game, and then I'll be back with you guys when that's done. And I have finished the level. Um, and this is a little map of the level, so you can see the start right here and the general shape you're going to take to get to the end of the level right there. This is a map where each pixel is represents one block of the map, so it can give you a general idea about how big it is. Um, and then you look up and you're like, oh, that's bigger than I thought it was. This is how I feel every time I look at the map. I'm not going to show you a playthrough of the whole thing, but I do want to show you some of the cooler details that I think are fun. This is the puzzle. So it may look a little bit confusing, especially at first, but the thing with this puzzle is that you're trying to get the water to go all the way through. And there's another piece of water there. And then you push a button, and an item goes through the whole thing, and you want the item to be able to make it to the end. And then you get a resin brick. So I really like this. It's pretty neat. I'm going to go reset it now. And this is the second type of puzzle I want to show you. So this puzzle isn't connected to anything resin brick. This is connected over here to this door on the cargo container. And I actually need to activate it so that you can use it. So this thing is neat. It's a randomized combo lock. So, oh wow, this time it was just one button. Whenever you press a button that is correct for the combination, it'll make a note block will make a noise. So here. And then you can use that to figure out what the correct combination is. In this case, it was just one button, but it's randomized, so sometimes it'll be multiple buttons. But here, just so that here, it also works for turning it off. If this lamp is supposed to be off, it'll make the right noise when you turn it off. So that's a fun part. I really like the combo lock. The combo lock appears, I think, 3 times throughout the level, and then this puzzle appears twice. I think it'd be nice before I show you playthrough of any section of the map to just show you like what the map is actually about. So my whole idea for this map is that it's in a swampy area and there's a fortified cargo container area because there's some powerful organization that wanted secrets kept here. And this is where they kept them. And you can see there's a like bunker area with a radio tower over there. And then there's this willow tree. I'm really happy with this willow tree, how it came out. There's a sniper tower. There's this building. I don't know what this building is, but there's a skeleton in there that can shoot you. When you move past beyond the basic defenses, you get into the cargo area. And there's a helicopter here. It's broken down and old, and the propeller has broken off. Then you have some the cargo containers over here. You got a brown one, a yellow one that's covered in graffiti. You got the orange and the red one. And then you have a rail line because that's how the cargo containers get here is through rail. So there's a little locomotive there and a goat. And the locomotive is there blocking this tunnel so the player can't escape. And then you have the rail line coming through, and I know the rail line would have to be much longer for this to make sense, but I need to stop it because otherwise then I have to continue on for a long while. And I'm pretty happy with how this section came out. I like the helicopter. You have this little security section with a check your security over here. Well, we're in creative mode, and this whole place is abandoned, so you don't need to worry about the security here anymore. Just some monsters. So in this area, I don't know really how storage cargo yards and stuff like that work, but it says cargo scanner, enter code below. I don't really know what any of this. There's a radio thing on it. I don't think this is realistic, but I just put it here for fun. There's these pallets with cargo on them. For the cargo, I used chisel bookshelves and beehives. I like the look of the beehive as a box. This area has something pretty cool, so I'm going to activate it and show you guys what is cool about this area. So, you can probably see on the bottom left, it spawned 2 zombies. Now, the interesting thing here is if I take out a zombie on in this section of the level, another zombie will spawn. There, you can see another zombie spawns. And so, this is actually true for any mob that's killed in this area. It'll cause a zombie to spawn, so I tried to prevent a lot of mobs from spawning. Most of the mobs get stuck in the cobwebs anyways, so they don't really present that much of an issue. But I think that this is pretty cool. There is a way to shut this off, and you actually have to shut this zombie respawner off in order to continue on. So you can see that there's a wall there, and when you press this, you can continue on. It opens up. And then you can take out these zombies without any more respawning. If I come over here, none of them respawn. So that's pretty cool. And moving on, in here we have the actual warehouse where all of the cargo is stored. Again, I used oak slabs for the pallets, and then I used beehives and chiseled bookshelves for the boxes, and I placed everything onto these boxes that go up on the warehouse walls. You know what? I think maybe one or two of the shelves could have just a box removed. But I really like the way that this turned out. I think it's pretty fun. Moving on is beyond the warehouse. They keep the more valuable stuff in a vault. And so I'm just going to spectator through that. And here we are on the other side of the vault. And I'm really happy with this vault. I like how it turned out. We have these lock boxes that are made out of green shulker boxes turned upside down because I think that it looks pretty good for like a cabinet or something. It looks like the end of a cabinet, so I'm really happy with the way that looks. And then you get the blackstone walls in there to look like a keyhole. And over in this section, we have the end of the vault. I don't think this is what the end of the vault would look like in real life, but hey, I'm not a bank vault designer. Here you'll get a stick of dynamite that you'll get put in here. It says it needs one stick of dynamite, and then you'll move on to the next section. This section of the level is my favorite part of the level, so I'm actually going to start this section of the level up, and then I'll show you guys a playthrough of this section, and then we'll move on to the end of the level. I've set up this part of the level to be able to play, and we're going to see how this goes. I'm pretty sure that was every zombie that's on the ground level. I'm surprised all of them were right over there, because normally they're spread out across the ground. In order to beat this level, you can see over here, this is close to the exit. It says you need a stick of dynamite, and I don't see any dynamite anywhere. I mean, there's the TNT in the ground. It's supposed to show you there's explosives planted. So I want you to be able to explore. See, you can't get over there, and there's a resin brick thing right there, so that probably has something to do with getting over there. But I don't have any resin bricks. Now I'm fighting a skeleton, and I'm really bad at fighting. What you see here, there's a combo lock. And I know at least that button needs to be pressed. That sounds like that one too. Okay, that one's supposed to be off. Okay, so I have the right combination. This opens up. And over here, I get a resin brick. And there's going to be a gold coin there. No gold coin right now. I haven't made a design for the gold coin. And, oops. Oh, the goal was to not take damage falling off. But here, there's one resin brick. And if you look, you saw it opens up, and there's slime blocks underneath. So, we can use that to get across, and we have another puzzle over here. And now, I can send the item through. It's a red candle. And the red candle is what I'm using as a stick of dynamite. I think that it looks like a stick of dynamite. So over here is one stick of dynamite. And this is my favorite puzzle solve in the whole area. Because the door opens with an explosion. I took damage from that. I didn't think I would. I guess you have to stand back. Also, as well as details, I'm really happy with how the details came out. On this, it feels like feels like a cave, mostly because there's rock everywhere. And then this door leads to the end of the game. This part is, again, you're in a swamp. You just come out of the mountain. I didn't show this, but this whole time you can actually see that there's a mountain over there. Yeah, a few mountains over there. From here, you can see that you've left the mountain area. But I'm really happy with this area. Over here, we have all the leaves that are coming out and almost over you, and there's the logs in there for the forest. And then get to cross this bridge, and it's the end of the level, so you can see that you're going to be going into a hallway, and well, you would go into the hallway because I need the end of the level at some point. You actually come down here and you finish the level. You won. The only thing that's over here is you'll pick up the next level at the end of this hallway. I have some ideas for the next level. I think it's going to be a little bit more swampy. And you know what? This should probably have some seaweed growing in it. I think that's it for this. That's it for this level. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have had fun making it, and I can't wait to see the next one, and I hope you guys will be there. If you really enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Conductor123, and goodbye.